Ladies and gentlemen, friends, dreamers, doers, let me ask you something. What's the one thing we all have in equal measure, no matter where we come from, what we do, or what we believe in? Time. Each one of us wakes up every morning with 24 hours, not a second more, not a second less. But what makes all the difference is how we choose to use it. I've often said, don't try to squeeze yourself into a glass slipper instead. Shatter the glass ceiling. But you can't break any ceilings if you're wasting your time staring at them. I wasn't born into fame, I didn't have a roadmap, I wasn't the best at everything, but what I did have, focus, hunger, and respect for time. Every minute mattered, every audition, every rejection, every opportunity I showed up like my life depended on it. Because it did. You see, time is that quiet partner in your journey. It doesn't make noise, it doesn't ask for credit, but it notices everything. It rewards those who use it well and walks away from those who take it for granted. You don't have to have your whole life figured out today, none of us do, but you do have to decide what you're going to do with this moment. Will you use it to move 1 inch closer to your dream, or will you scroll through someone else's? I'm not saying don't rest. I'm not saying don't live. I'm saying live intentionally, laugh deeply, love fiercely, learn endlessly, and work like it's your last shot, because sometimes it is. And don't wait for the right time. There's no such thing. You make the time right by showing up with heart, with purpose, with fire. So let me leave you with this. Time is not your enemy. Time is your greatest resource. Don't waste it, invest it. Time is the one resource that every single person on this planet receives in equal measure. Regardless of where you were born, what your background is, how much money you have, or what talents you possess, each of us gets 24 hours in a day. It's one of life's greatest equalizers. Time does not discriminate. You can't buy more of it, and once it's gone, you can never get it back. What separates people who succeed from those who don't isn't about how much time they had. It's about what they did with it. Think about it. Some of the most influential people in the world didn't start out with privilege or opportunity handed to them. What they had in common was a deep understanding of the value of time. They knew that each moment was an opportunity, and they treated it as such. Whether it was putting in the extra hours to learn something new, using spare moments to plan their goals, or simply showing up consistently, they understood that time is not something to take for granted. It's easy to fall into the trap of thinking that we're too young, too busy, or that tomorrow will be a better time to start something. But in truth, there's never a perfect moment. The perfect time is always now. Every second you hesitate, procrastinate, or doubt yourself is a second you can't reclaim. That's not meant to create pressure, it's meant to create awareness. Because once you understand the power of time, you begin to make more conscious choices about how you spend it. Time is a silent teacher. It won't shout at you or tell you what to do. It simply passes, and what you do within that passage defines your future. It's not just about working hard every minute, it's about being intentional. Are you doing things that align with your goals? Are you surrounding yourself with people who inspire you to grow? Are you taking action, or are you just thinking about it? In this age of distractions, social media, endless entertainment, constant noise, it's become even easier to waste time without realizing it. Hours slip away as we scroll, binge, and click. But while those distractions offer temporary relief, they often steal the moments we could use to build something meaningful. It doesn't mean we shouldn't relax or enjoy life, but we should be aware that our time is finite. Use it to feed your passion, develop your skills, or even just reflect and reset. Whatever helps you grow. The truth is, nobody else can manage your time for you. No one can give you more of it, and no one can rewind it. What you do with your time is entirely in your hands. That's a powerful responsibility, but also a powerful gift, because if you learn to value your time, and if you learn to use it wisely, there is almost nothing you can't achieve. Time is your greatest currency. Spend it like your future depends on it, because it does. Respecting and valuing time is at the heart of achieving anything meaningful in life. Time is fleeting, and once it's gone for good. We all have the same 24 hours in a day, but the difference between those who achieve their goals and those who don't often lies in how they manage this precious resource. It's easy to say that time is valuable, but understanding and truly respecting it means making every moment count, especially when the world around us is filled with distractions. One of the first steps in respecting time is acknowledging its finite nature. Unlike money, which can be earned, saved, and sometimes multiplied, time cannot be stored or replenished. Every second that passes is a second we will never get back. So it becomes essential to treat time with the reverence it deserves. People who respect time understand that each moment offers an opportunity to move closer to their goals. They know that every task, no matter how small, adds up over time to create the bigger picture of their lives. In our fast-paced world, it's incredibly easy to waste time, whether through procrastination, distractions, or simply going through the motions without a clear purpose. But when you respect time, you stop letting it slip away without intention. You begin to recognize when you're not using your time wisely and make conscious efforts to change that. Instead of filling your days with unproductive activities or putting off things that matter, you start prioritizing what really matters. You actively choose how you spend your time, whether that's working toward personal growth, focusing on relationships, or pursuing your passion. Respecting time also means creating balance. It's about recognizing that time isn't only for work or productivity. Rest, relaxation, and time with loved ones are equally important. However, there's a fine line between resting and wasting time. Resting with purpose, whether it's through a good book, taking a walk, or meditating, allows your mind and body to recharge in a way that fuels your ability to use your time effectively when you return to work. It's about understanding that every moment, whether spent working or resting, has a purpose when you use it mindfully. Another aspect of respecting time is not waiting for the perfect conditions to begin something. There is no perfect moment to start a new project, chase a dream, or learn a new skill. Waiting for everything to align perfectly is a form of wasting time. Instead, people who value time take the initiative now today, in this moment. They understand that no matter the circumstances, starting is often more important than waiting. Every minute you delay is a minute lost that could have been used to make progress. Finally, respecting time also means learning to say no to things that don't align with your values or goals. There are countless things that demand your time, but not all of them are worth your investment. By saying no to distractions, unnecessary commitments, and things that don't serve your bigger purpose, you free up time for the things that truly matter. Respecting time doesn't mean working yourself to exhaustion or feeling pressured to be constantly productive. It simply means acknowledging that time is one of your most valuable resources and treating it with the respect it deserves by making thoughtful choices about how you spend it. When you learn to do this, you open the door to a life that's not only productive but fulfilling, purposeful, and ultimately meaningful. Being intentional with your choices is one of the most powerful ways to ensure that your time is spent wisely and effectively. Life often feels like it's moving at a rapid pace, and it can be easy to get swept up in the current of day-to-day activities. We can easily fall into the trap of simply going through the motions without ever questioning whether what we're doing is truly aligned with our larger goals and dreams. But the truth is, when we live without intention, time slips away, and we may find ourselves looking back, wondering where it all went and what we've actually achieved. Being intentional doesn't mean having everything meticulously planned out down to the minute, but it does mean taking the time to reflect on what really matters to you. It's about setting clear goals, understanding your priorities, and consciously making decisions that align with your values and aspirations. Every day, you are faced with choices, some big, some small. But each choice you make adds up to shape the life you're creating. Whether you're deciding how to spend your workday, how to invest in your relationships, or how to spend your free time, making decisions that are aligned with your larger vision ensures that you are making the most of the time you have. One of the biggest challenges in living intentionally is learning to say no to things that don't serve your purpose. The world is full of distractions, whether it's social media, unnecessary commitments, or the constant pull of external expectations. But the reality is, we cannot do everything, and trying to please everyone or pursue every opportunity will often lead to burnout and a sense of unfulfillment. When you choose to live with intention, you become more discerning about what you allow into your life. You learn to say no to distractions and yes to the things that matter, even if that means stepping away from the noise around you. Living intentionally also involves being present in the moment. It's easy to become consumed with future goals or past regrets, but true fulfillment comes from being fully engaged in the present. When you are intentional, you recognize the value of now. Whether you're working, spending time with loved ones, or simply taking a moment to reflect, you make a conscious effort to be fully involved in what you're doing. This presence allows you to appreciate life more deeply, which in turn makes your time feel more valuable. Additionally, being intentional means aligning your time with your values. Every person has different things that are important to them, whether it's personal growth, family, career, or health. The way you spend your time reflects what you value, and when you live intentionally, you ensure that your time goes toward the things that matter most to you. It's about not letting the demands of life pull you in directions that don't support your ultimate goals. Living with intention doesn't always mean making drastic changes or sacrifices. Sometimes it's the small, everyday decisions that make all the difference. By intentionally choosing how to spend your time, you create a life that feels meaningful, focused, and fulfilling. It's about being proactive, not reactive. It's about making decisions that move you toward the person you want to become and the life you want to live. In a world where time is so precious, choosing to be intentional with how you use it can change everything. It empowers you to live a life that's not just about surviving the day, but about truly making every moment count. The idea of waiting for the perfect moment to start something is one of the biggest obstacles people face in achieving their goals. So often, we find ourselves delaying action because we're waiting for the stars to align, hoping for ideal circumstances, or thinking that everything needs to be in place before we begin. The truth, however, is that the perfect moment rarely exists. In fact, waiting for it can be one of the biggest forms of procrastination. The right time to start something meaningful is always now, and success is often determined not by the conditions you're given, but by how you use the time you have, no matter how imperfect or uncertain it may seem. We often hold off on pursuing our dreams or starting a project because we're not sure we're ready, or because we think we'll be more prepared in the future. This mindset is rooted in fear of failure, fear of judgment, or simply fear of the unknown. But the more you wait, the more opportunities slip by and the more time you waste. While you're waiting for everything to be perfect, someone else is moving forward, making progress and learning along the way. This isn't to make you feel bad. Rather, it's to highlight the fact that action is what drives success, not perfection. There's a certain level of discomfort that comes with starting something new, and that discomfort can be paralyzing. But it's also where growth happens. Growth happens when you step into the unknown, when you push yourself beyond your comfort zone, and when you start before you feel completely ready. Starting is the most important part. Once you begin, the momentum builds and you learn along the way. Whether it's a new job, a new business venture, or a personal goal, the first step is often the hardest, but it's the one that leads to everything else. The fear of starting something before everything is perfect. Also comes with the misconception that things will work out effortlessly once you get going. But in reality, things rarely go as planned. There will always be obstacles, challenges, and unexpected turns, no matter how carefully you try to prepare. So, waiting for the perfect moment is not only a form of procrastination, it's also a misunderstanding of how success works. Success doesn't come from flawless execution. It comes from resilience, adaptation, and the willingness to keep going, even when things aren't perfect. Once you stop waiting for everything to be aligned, you'll begin to see that there is no ideal time to begin . The ideal time is when you decide to act. Life doesn't wait for you to feel ready, and the world doesn't stop to give you the perfect opportunity. But when you take action, no matter how small, you signal to the universe that you are ready to make the most of the time you have, regardless of the challenges that may come your way. Moreover, starting now gives you the invaluable opportunity to learn through experience. When you act, you are presented with lessons that can only be gained by doing, not by planning or waiting. You will refine your skills, correct your mistakes, and grow in ways that would never be possible if you kept putting things off. In the end, the perfect moment is a myth. The key is to start now, even if it feels imperfect, and trust that by taking action, you'll figure things out as you go. Time is constantly moving forward, and waiting for things to be just right only delays the fulfillment of your dreams. The most important thing is to begin, and once you do, you'll find that the process of learning, growing, and evolving is often more rewarding than waiting for the perfect moment to arrive. Time, as a limited resource, rewards consistency and discipline more than raw talent or sporadic bursts of effort. While talent and moments of brilliance can get you noticed, it's the steady, disciplined use of time that builds long-term success. The idea that a single moment of genius can propel someone to greatness is a myth. In reality, it's the daily decisions, the small actions, and the persistence to keep going that create the foundation for any lasting achievement. One of the most important lessons in life is learning that success doesn't happen overnight. It's not the result of a single effort, but of small, consistent actions that accumulate over time. Every day, no matter how small the task or how seemingly insignificant the step, is an opportunity to move closer to your goals. This is where consistency becomes key. The most successful people in the world aren't necessarily the smartest or the most talented, but they are the ones who show up consistently. They put in the work day after day, even when it feels mundane or when the results aren't immediately visible. Consistency, however, requires discipline. It's easy to get distracted or to fall off course when things get tough. It's easy to give in to temptation or to allow procrastination to take over. But those who succeed are the ones who cultivate the discipline to continue, even when they don't feel like it. It's the ability to show up when motivation is low, to keep pushing even when the results seem far away. This type of discipline is not about perfection but about persistence. It's about making time for what matters, even when it feels like there are a million other things competing for your attention. The key to developing discipline is creating a routine or structure that makes consistent action easier. Whether it's setting specific goals, breaking down larger tasks into manageable steps, or simply creating habits that align with your values, having a clear plan in place helps maintain focus. It's not about doing everything all at once, but about consistently taking small steps toward your goal. Over time, these small steps compound into something far greater than the sum of their parts. A single hour spent on something every day might seem insignificant at first, but over weeks, months, and years, it leads to profound results. Another important element of consistency is resilience. There will be setbacks, failures, and times when you question whether your efforts are paying off. But it's in these moments that true success is built. Those who keep going, even after experiencing failure, are the ones who ultimately see the greatest results. Resilience allows you to bounce back from disappointment and to keep using time wisely, even when things don't go as planned. Consistency and discipline also have a ripple effect. When you consistently work toward your goals, it creates a sense of momentum. You start to see progress, which motivates you to keep going. Additionally, the habits and routines you establish begin to shape your character and work ethic. Over time, these qualities become ingrained in you, making it easier to stay disciplined and consistent in all areas of your life. In the end, the power of time lies in the ability to consistently show up and do the work. It's not about waiting for the perfect conditions or hoping for a breakthrough. It's about using time every single day to move forward. Time rewards those who are disciplined enough to keep putting in the effort, no matter how long it takes. The key to success is not just having talent or inspiration, it's having the discipline to make the most of your time, consistently and without hesitation. In a world that constantly bombards us with new information, trends, and expectations, one of the most important skills we can develop is the ability to invest our time in what truly matters to us, rather than getting caught up in comparison or distractions. It's easy to look around and see others seemingly achieving more or leading different, perhaps better, lives. Social media, for example, amplifies this tendency to compare, presenting curated versions of other people's successes that may seem more glamorous, exciting, or accomplished than our own reality. But the truth is, focusing too much on comparison not only wastes time, but it also detracts from our ability to invest in what will lead to our personal growth and success. We often spend hours, days, or even years measuring ourselves against others, wondering why we're not where they are or why our progress seems slower. But this comparison is based on an illusion. People's journeys are unique, shaped by their circumstances, choices, and the specific challenges they face. What works for someone else doesn't necessarily work for you, and vice versa. When you spend your time focused on others, you lose sight of your own path. You waste precious moments that could be spent working toward your goals, improving yourself, or enjoying your own unique journey. Time spent comparing is time that could be spent building, creating, or exploring your own potential. Investing time in your own growth and goals requires a shift in mindset. Rather than measuring your progress against someone else's, it's far more valuable to measure your progress against where you were yesterday. Every step forward, no matter how small, is a victory. Every bit of effort you put into learning, developing a skill, or achieving something meaningful is an investment in your future. The beauty of focusing on your own path is that it frees you from the paralyzing effect of comparison, allowing you to move forward with purpose and confidence. Focusing on your own growth also means recognizing that every moment is an opportunity to improve. It's not about waiting for the perfect time, or feeling that you need to be in a particular place before you can invest time in yourself. Whether it's a new hobby, a career change, or personal development, now is always the best time to start. Time invested in yourself, whether through learning, practicing, or reflecting, will always pay dividends in the long run. Even if you don't see immediate results, you're building a foundation for future success. It's like planting seeds. What you nurture today will grow into something much more significant over time. One of the most powerful ways to invest time is to be mindful of the people and environments you surround yourself with. The people you spend time with can either lift you up or drain your energy. Time spent with those who support, encourage, and inspire you is an investment in your own growth. On the other hand, time spent with people who are constantly negative or discouraging can drain your energy and pull you further away from your goals. Likewise, investing your time in positive, empowering environments can help you thrive and focus on what matters most. Ultimately, the key is to remember that time is a finite resource. The more you focus on comparing your journey to someone else's, the more you waste that resource. Instead, by investing time in your own growth, happiness, and well-being, you not only make the most of the time you have, but you also build a life that is meaningful and uniquely yours. Time spent on your own development, learning, reflecting, growing, and thriving, is never time wasted. It's the greatest investment you can make, and it will pay off in ways that are deeply personal, fulfilling, and rewarding.